it is time to put resources into our community that COVID-19 has exposed all these disparities.
The call for CARES Act help for minorities has not ended since we brought you this story earlier this month. Now, another advocacy group in Nashville is pushing the mayor to ensure funds are distributed to African American and Latinx communities, a population directly impacted by the pandemic. Carice Jackman spoke with Stand Up Nashville and joins us now live with the latest. Carice?
That's right, Tom. You know, it's safe to say that everybody has been impacted by COVID-19 in some form or fashion. But what Stand Up Nashville told us today is that the minority communities are really seeing the ripple effects of this illness. And that is why they're calling on local leaders to step up and do something about it right now. The pandemic and the recent protests in Nashville and across our nation have once again brought an important conversation and issue to the forefront.
Our country historically has caused these gaps, whether it be a wealth gap, whether it be a racial gap, whatever gap of ism or inequity, right? And this is how we start to bridge that.
It's why Odessa Kelly, executive director of Stand Up Nashville, says the $121 million in federal CARES Act relief funds should reflect, address, and center on uplifting people in our city struggling right now.
African Americans are dying at twice the rate of our white counterparts in the city.
Stand Up Nashville created this detailed list on how they believe relief funds should be distributed in Black and brown communities impacted by COVID-19. Primarily focusing on housing assistance, small business support, workforce development, and worker safety.
Nashville is one of the most expensive cities to live in. If you make under $70,000 in Nashville, you're probably in need of some type of workforce or affordable housing.
When it comes to small businesses, Kelly says establishing a grant program for underserved neighborhoods and minority-owned businesses could help them stay afloat. She also believes many of these workers are underpaid.
Unions have a history of building pathways out of poverty. Right? They have been beneficial to African Americans. Same thing for immigrants, undocumented people, documented immigrants, people who are here who are doing this hard work. They need the dignity and the pay for the work that they do, right?
News 4 reached out to Mayor John Cooper's office about Stand Up Nashville's ideas. They replied in a statement saying, "We are engaged in an active dialogue with our community partners, including leaders from Nashville's Black community, in determining the dispersal of these funds." Dialogue is good. But what Kelly wants to see is action.
There is a lot of inequality built into the systems and the procedures and how we do things, especially when it comes to giving out loans and businesses, right? This is something that we really need to review and change, from the bottom, to the top.
And Kelly also told me that when that announcement comes out as to how those relief funds are distributed, it does impact minority communities and has a very detailed list of how it impacts them, because she says right now it's time to bridge that wealth and economic gap here in the city.